How many of you have got someone in the military, man or woman? Have a show of hands. Okay. Good. I speak to you today on the theme of leadership, how it can be forged through tough training, perseverance, and leading from the front. Hard work, character, and leadership are key to success in any field of endeavor, and many of you will face a question in coming years as to what does it take to lead when everything you have built or care for is on the line. I have been guided by the motto of the Indian Military Academy, flashed ahead here, when I stepped out as a commissioned officer from the Indian Military Academy 41 years back. It said, the safety, honor, and welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. The honor, welfare, and comfort of the troops you command, the men you command, come next. Your own ease, comfort, and safety come last, always and every time. This was by Sir Philip Chetwood, the first commandant of the Indian Military Academy. I have lived this motto. It has helped guide me and provide a moral basis for actions that I have taken. It has forged me into who I am, with the priorities of my country, my troops, and then only the self. What does it mean to be forged? I have put an acronym to this. FIRE. You will face various pressures, challenges thrown at you. It will test your character and true worth. You will be dragged through the burning coal, but you will come out stronger. An obsession. It needs time, single-minded dedication for a goal or idea bigger than yourself. This is what will drive you and will be your inner passion, as one of the speakers earlier said, the passion to really achieve. Resilience. You need to rise every time you are knocked down or feel utterly frustrated. And in this all, patience is the key. Grit, your determination and continuing to do the right thing, even if no one is watching or appreciative, is what will define you. Excellence, professional competence of the highest order. Nothing comes without competence. And never settle for the second best, be it in training, be it in sport, battle, or life at large. As you all know, steel is forged in a blast furnace, all of you all being technically educated, through high heat, strong hammering, and time. So therefore, leaders are built and not born. The foundations are in your family, the school you grew up in, training academies or colleges, and your battalion. The family values imbibed at home, what you see and do every day, becomes what you are. At school, you learn the importance of teamwork. On the sports field, gain knowledge through your studies, build competition, and learning to win or lose with grace. For me, in the National Defence Academy, a 3-year stint, followed by the IMA, the Indian Military Academy, where we did 1 year. This was basic military training prior commissioning, and this training of 4 years was, for me, the crucible of military leadership. The place where true tempering through discipline, physical training, drill, horse riding, swimming, and all in all, rounded studies. I did pass out with a graduate degree from the National Defence Academy, so studies definitely came to us out there, and this is where it all took place. There was no respite, even at night. We were taught manners, etiquette, played various sports, and most importantly, learned esprit de corps and camaraderie. It is here that people from all parts of the country were thrown into the same melting pot and grew as one. North, south, east, or west. The bonds and friendships also grew deeper when you are all sweating or bleeding together. It is here that I learned about winning and losing. These are two sides of the same coin, and we do need to maintain equanimity and keep the balance. It was here in the National Defense Academy that one of my squadron commanders, when we were celebrating a victory, punished us and put us all on our fours, and we were doing bench stretches. And he told us that don't get overly excited with victory, nor utterly disappointed with a loss. You've got to maintain a balance. Later, I joined my battalion and found that here is where theory meets reality. Leading real people, understanding the troops you lead, and everybody looking up towards you for guidance, direction, and leadership. I was a very young officer in my battalion, but still I could see that the troops were looking towards me, be it in operations or in training, for guidance. I became one with my troops and had the honor to be part of the 2nd Battalion, the Maha Regiment. I learned much from them, and today they are my second family. Tempering through experience. This whole process of tempering is a lifelong experience actually, and at least for the first 15 to 20 years is where you are really put through the paces. I did experience the crucible of real operations in its various manifestations. In Kashmir, I was posted as a young officer along the line of control, so constant action. I learned to lead the men under fire and realized that as an officer, one couldn't afford to show fear nor display weakness. Be it on the longest of marches or the heaviest of fire that we were undergoing, the men were always watching and gauging you. I pushed myself to the boundaries and saw that the men will follow you anywhere if they know that their officer is leading from the front. They put their complete trust in you. You must realize that for them, the leader, the officer, is very critical. And if he says, go ahead, then they are ready to go to the ends of the world along with him. I commanded a company in Manipur, and this was another completely different experience on the other side of the country, in counterinsurgency there. And in this command, the troops were constantly looking for physically leading me, physically wanting to be led into various operations. And I saw that even the most difficult of men perform excellently well in operations if they are well led. Later, as a battalion commander, and then a brigade commander and divisional commander, your senior ranks, I did a total of 10 years in the Jammu and Kashmir area, and it became my karma bhumi. I learned that one look is worth 100 reports. So we must constantly move around and see the situation and gauge what needs to be done. I did get an opportunity in 1992-93 to go to Somalia. I had the opportunity to serve in the UN operations there, the peacekeeping, under Uniform 2. We were operating with 32 countries and very different operational constraints. I saw great courage, ingenuity, and professional competence displayed by the Indian troops out there, and even the famous American General Schwarzkopf, who had visited our battalion, had high praise for our unit, the 5th Battalion Maha Regiment, which was deployed along with the whole brigade of the Indian Brigade in Somalia. Later, continuing with the UN experience, in 2012, I was posted, after a stint as a brigade commander here in Kashmir, I was posted to Congo as the brigade commander of the Indian Brigade in North Kivu, which is a province of the Democratic Republic of Congo, the eastern side. And I faced very many difficult decisions thrust on me and realized the leadership is not tested in comfort but revealed under pressure. There were a lot of frustrations, and I was reminded of the quote of Shelley, "If winter comes, can spring be far behind?" I shall speak a little more on this. In the Congo, we had the UN mission called MONUSCO, And the mission was in danger of failing because the M23 rebel group had advanced and reached outside of Goma, the provincial capital. And this is one of the richest provinces there, and a lot of different interests playing out there. The rebels had advanced up to November 2012 outside of Goma, and then in November they entered Goma and were all over. The Congolese army, which had more than 6,000 troops ahead, had withdrawn, and our troops were left all alone and in a very small pockets. So I had to take the call whether to stay back and hold on or pull back. After due thought and consultation with our headquarters and the UN headquarters back home here in Delhi, we decided that we will stay and protect all the UN personnel, assets, and most importantly, the common people, in this way, maintaining the peace. All eyes were on me because nobody likes to be overrun by a rebel group, and we realized that our job was bigger, that we had job to protect the civilians out there and various other UN assets, or else there could well have been a genocide. So I had to recommend how we wanted to go forward, because the complete operations were in my brigade of area of responsibility, and we decided thereafter to continue. We pushed the rebel group back outside of Goma through a bit of negotiation and otherwise, and thereafter we trained the Congolese army and pushed the rebels back all the way outside into the neighboring country there, and gradually the Congolese army gained confidence and complete victory came about over a period of 8 months. We were all extremely happy. You can see some of the photographs where it shows us at the end, where we're all celebrating with the Congolese army. And the top one is where I'm sitting with the force commander. We were in a bunker and we were being shelled all around. This was at the start of the operations to push the rebel group back. A word that when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and every leader faces the moment they want to quit. A couple of quotes I would like to say about from Vivekananda. He spoke about arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Strength is life, and weakness is death. And also the great Nelson Mandela, he said, the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. So failure, more than success, is the greatest teacher. I would like to highlight 4 lessons from experience of leading large bodies of troops. Firstly, we need to win, but with ethics and values. The moment we compromise values for results, we lose the only thing that really matters, and that is the trust of those you lead. Next, when dealing with subordinates, motivate, don't dominate. The higher you rise, the less you fight the outside enemy, and more you fight doubts, your people's and your own. It is better to get people to work with enthusiasm than on orders. Leading in ambiguity is something which is very important, because the battlefield gives you no playbook. There are no set-piece answers. And any plan, as any good military man knows, doesn't survive the very first bullet. To create clarity when everyone else only sees fog is very critical. Another aspect is moral courage. This is very important as you go up in the ladder. Physical bravery is common, but the courage to say that this is wrong or you disagree, that is uncommon. The bottom line is that character with professional competence is essential. For you students, just to correlate, you don't need a battlefield to be forged into steel. Your college is your National Defense Academy. Every difficult assignment, every failed exam, every rejection is part of the tempering process and preparing you for a larger life. Your team is your unit. How you treat the people when no one is watching and respect you receive from them, that is your true rank. Your values are your armor, and also ambition without integrity is just ambition, hollow. And that is not enough. So let your character lead and build your competence. Character and competence, I repeat, go hand in hand. Hard work is not optional. In life, The fire cannot be skipped. So you have to go through the hard grind. The forge or the furnace is burning. The question is, will you step into it and take the leap of faith? Jai Hind.